All right, so in today's clip, we're going to do just a little bit of body tracking, body awareness into our pelvis. So go ahead and lay flat. And just taking some time to put your hands and just feeling your pelvis. And just feeling the bones in the front. And just feeling the way that they wrap around to the back. If you can reach around to your back, just kind of feeling your sacrum. It's a big bone that's back there. There's two joints on either side of that sacrum. You have your pubic bone. And there's two joints on either side of that, your hip joints. So there's three bones in the pelvis. We have an ilium on one side, ilium on the other side, and your sacrum in the back. There's two joints in the back, two joints in the front. And ideally, we want those three bones to have three separate movements. So when we're walking, our body, our pelvis has the ability to create like a figure eight. Today, we're going to start with just doing pelvic tilts. So you're going to feel your pelvis and ever so slightly just rocking your pelvis forward and rocking it back. So it's almost like if you're taking your pubic bone down to the ground, that's going to rock your pelvis forward into an anterior tilt. And then if you take your pubic bone back up this way towards your chin, that's going to create a posterior tilt. So you're just going to rock your pelvis forward and back a few times. Nice and slow. And you're just noticing what that feels like. And then just kind of taking your pelvis forward in an extreme forward and then tucking it back so that your back is flat on the ground. And then you're going to kind of find a happy medium, almost like a neutral place. And that's what they call a neutral pelvis. So you're not too far forward, you're not too far back. Yeah, and then when you have that neutral place, just taking a minute to see what that feels like. For some people, it might feel uncomfortable or like it's not their normal position. And then now let your pelvis go back to what it normally would do, the position it would normally be in. And for some of you, the neutral position is already where you would be, where you're at. But if you would normally feel a little more comfortable with your pelvis tilting forward or tilting all the way back, see if you can feel what neutral feels like. And that can help for you when you're in standing to come back to that neutral position. And that can take a lot of pressure off of the lower back. If our pelvis is too far forward, that can create tight hip flexors, a tight lower back. Those muscles have to work extra hard. And the opposite, if you have more of a posterior tilt, that can create really tight hamstrings. It can make your abdomen really tight. So if we can find just a neutral place, that can take some pressure off of the tissue around the hip flexors, the hamstrings, all over. Yeah, and then when you found that neutral place, you're going to do that same thing just on a smaller level. You're just going to rock your pelvis forward and rock it back. So it's a real subtle exercise, but it can really help your mind and your body to start to connect. We can get pretty disconnected and kind of numb out areas. And then when you're done, you can do that for as long or as little as you want. Just roll to your side, push yourself up. And then you can go for a walk and just notice how that feels. Okay. And getting more of a sense of where your pelvis is at in space when you're on the ground, having support under you can help you to feel it when you're walking around or you don't have that support. So I'm just rocking forward and back as I'm sitting here, just feeling what my pelvis is capable of. And if I feel a tight area, I might grab my pinky ball and do the exercise that we talked about in that video with the pinky ball. All right, I hope that helps.